All right, let's unpack this. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into a topic that is far more powerful and surprising than most of us realize: love. Not just as a feeling, right? But as a dynamic, active force for profound healing and personal transformation. You might think you know what love is.
Yeah, but our sources today are really going to challenge that.
Exactly. Showing you how opening your heart can fundamentally change your entire experience of life.
Precisely. Our source material for this deep dive offers some truly remarkable insights into how love heals and redeems.
Okay.
It's a perspective that really challenges common assumptions we hold about suffering, the myth of rugged individualism, even our relationship with power. So our mission here is to uncover those often overlooked mechanisms by which love can truly transform us from the inside out. It gives you a fresh lens on personal growth.
And trust me, you're in for some surprising facts and more than a few aha moments. Things that genuinely shifted my own thinking. By the end of this deep dive, you'll have a shortcut, really, to being truly well-informed on one of life's most transformative subjects. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
We're kicking off with this central assertion that love heals. Think about this. No matter what's happened in your past.
Yeah.
When you open your heart to love, our sources suggest you can experience this profound renewal almost as if you've been born again.
Right. And it's important to clarify that's used metaphorically in our sources.
Okay.
It signifies a profound shift in perspective, a complete reorientation,
Yeah.
not necessarily specific spiritual conversion, but embracing life anew after embracing love.
So it's not about forgetting what you've been through.
No, not at all. It's about transforming its presence within you.
Yeah.
It means that even suffering, while it's certainly wounding, it need not scar us for life. It leaves a mark, sure, but what we allow that mark to become, whether it's a disfiguring scar or a testament to resilience, that's within our own hands.
So it's about claiming agency even when facing hardship. And James Baldwin's insight here really drives this home, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
People who cannot suffer can never grow up, can never discover who they are. How do the sources connect that suffering to growth and, embracing healing love?
Well, that quote is critical. The sources suggest that true growth isn't about avoiding pain, but about learning to integrate it.
Right.
For Baldwin and for our sources, suffering forces us to confront ourselves, to take responsibility for our lives, and ultimately to choose that path of healing love.
Okay.
And that allows us to define the marks left by pain, rather than just being defined by them. It's a proactive response, not a passive one.
And it's not just about overcoming hardship, right? Our minds, our hearts, they inherently have this incredible capacity to endlessly renew our spirits, restore our souls.
Yes, it's a constant, always present power.
Yet it feels like we often focus so much on what's broken.
We do. And our sources highlight that suffering like an unexpected illness or a loss, it's an inescapable part of life. It's not necessarily an indicator of dysfunction.
That's a key point.
It is. And it means we should be celebrating the absence of unnecessary pain just as much as we expose dysfunction. We need that balance.
Exactly. We tend to pathologize pain, but just because it's present doesn't mean something is wrong with you.
It's universal. It's human. The sources encourage us to shift focus, not just identifying problems, but acknowledging that natural capacity for renewal and valuing those periods of peace and well-being as equally vital parts of the human experience. It's about a balanced perspective.
Building on that, let's explore how love reshapes our understanding of family and how it can even help us heal from childhood traumas.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Our sources highlight a stark contrast between dysfunctional and functional families. The key difference isn't that functional families avoid conflict or suffering.
Right, they don't.
No.
Everyone has challenges.
It's how they resolve issues without coercion, shaming, or violence. What does that actually look like in practice, according to the sources?
Well, it's about the process. The sources explain that in functional families, resolving conflict involves active listening, respectful disagreement, and focusing on understanding needs rather than just imposing will. Instead of shaming, you get open communication and accountability. Instead of violence, you have established boundaries and respect for individual autonomy. The goal is resolution and growth, not control or punishment.
That makes so much sense. John Bradshaw gives us a fantastic definition. He describes a functional, healthy family as one where everyone, all members and relationships, are fully functional. This allows individuals to cooperate, individuate, and to get their collective and individual needs met. He calls it the healthy soil out of which individuals can become mature human beings.
That's a great image, healthy soil.
Isn't it? And he emphasizes that self-esteem, autonomy, and dependency are all beautifully balanced here. How do those elements really foster maturity?
Well, our sources emphasize that balance is absolutely key.
Yeah.
Self-esteem isn't some inflated ego, right?
Right.
It's a solid sense of self-worth that allows for healthy autonomy, the ability to act independently, while also recognizing the necessity of healthy dependency, knowing when and how to rely on others.
I see.
This dynamic interplay ensures individuals can grow into secure, interdependent beings, capable of both standing alone and connecting deeply. It's about being rooted, but also having branches that can reach out.
And this is critical because for so many people, childhood pain trapped them in self-destructive behaviors long before we even had terms like functional or dysfunctional.
Absolutely.
Yet the only path to recovery, as our sources really emphasize, is letting go and choosing wellness. That sounds simpler than it is, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely does. The sources highlight that while the pain might have been inflicted on you, the ongoing choice to remain in its grip, well, that becomes your responsibility.
That's a tough concept.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about blaming the victim. It's about empowering them. It's an internal shift. Acknowledging that holding on to past wounds, however justified, prevents future healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a profound act of self-love, really, to release that grip.
Yes, that individual choice to be healed is crucial. There's that powerful line from Tony Cade Bumbra's The Salt Eaters,
Oh, yes.
where the healers tell the young woman, just as you're sure, sweetheart, and ready to be healed, because wholeness is no trifling matter. A lot of weight when you are well.
Such a powerful line.
It really underscores that while we need support, that initial gesture, taking responsibility for your well-being, opening yourself up, that has to come from you. That choice is what allows you to receive healing from others who care.
It's a profound insight. And that weight of wellness, it isn't a burden. It's the gravitas of a life fully lived. A life of responsibility and presence that demands you show up completely. It suggests healing isn't just about feeling better, but about embracing your full capacity to live, to love, to be present. And that's a significant undertaking.
This leads us beautifully into the essential nature of communion and interdependency, something our modern culture, with its weighty emphasis on self, often overlooks.
Definitely.
We're often told that true love is only a solitary quest, that you should be complete inside yourself.
The whole idea.
But while inner contentedness is vital, our sources make it clear. Life without communion and love with others would be less fulfilling no matter the extent of one's self-love.
Indeed. And that rugged individual we often idolize. Our sources suggest that figure can only really thrive in a culture of domination.
How so?
Where a privileged few consume resources while many go without. This worship of individualism, they argue, has actually led us to an unhealthy culture of narcissism.
Oh.
It's pervasive, and it divorces us from our fundamental need for connection, leading to isolation even when we're surrounded by abundance.
And it's why Western travelers are often so surprised when they visit materially poorer countries.
Yeah.
And witness such deep communion among people who, despite lacking material wealth, seem to have such full hearts.
Exactly. And it's no accident that many spiritual teachers we gravitate towards come from cultures that truly value interdependency and working for a collective good.
That really flies in the face of our traditional Western ideas of self-sufficiency.
It absolutely does. Our sources highlight that these cultures instinctively understand that human flourishing isn't just an individual thing.
Right.
Their focus on the collective good fosters relationships built on mutual support, shared purpose, not just competitive self-interest. It offers a powerful counter-narrative, suggesting maybe true strength lies in connection, not isolation.
This highlights a crucial distinction then. While concepts like codependency have rightly shown us how excessive dependency can be unhealthy.
Sure, especially when it supports addiction, for example.
Right. But we absolutely need to talk about healthy interdependency. Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, serves as a powerful example here. How do the sources use AA to demonstrate love in action?
AA is presented as such a powerful model because it creates an affirming community where individuals, through shared vulnerability and mutual support, learn to overcome deeply entrenched patterns. The sources show how AA provides acceptance without judgment, care in times of struggle, knowledge from shared experience, and the responsibility of one person helping another.
That's love in action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This isn't about unhealthy dependence. It's about understanding that healing is relational, It's a collective journey where each person's progress contributes to the whole.
It's a fantastic point. The core message here is profound. Rarely, if ever, are any of us healed in isolation. Healing is an act of communion.
Yes, that sums it up perfectly.
And that communion isn't just with, like-minded souls. He can also be with the divine spirit. St. Teresa of Avila spoke of this, advising that all one need do is go into solitude and look at him within oneself, and not turn away from so good a guest, but with great humility speak to him. What does she mean by looking within?
Well, our sources interpret this as an invitation to deep introspection, self-awareness.
Okay.
It's about finding that inner space of silence and connection, recognizing a divine spark, or maybe a higher wisdom within yourself. It's a form of internal communion, bearing witness to your own thoughts and feelings, engaging in a dialogue with that deepest part of yourself.
And prayer, in this context, provides a space where talking cures, strengthens the soul, offers a private place of confession where we can bear witness to our own trespasses.
Yeah, there's real truth to that old axiom, confession is good for the soul.
Definitely. As Daniel Berrigan and Thich Nhat Hanh remind us, the bridge of illusion must be destroyed before a real bridge can be constructed. What kind of illusion are our sources referring to here?
Well, the bridge of illusion refers to those false narratives we build about ourselves or the world. Denial, self-deception, maybe even the belief that we're utterly isolated.
Right.
Our sources suggest these illusions prevent us from seeing reality clearly, including our own need for healing and connection. Destroying that illusion means confronting truth, acknowledging our vulnerabilities, and opening ourselves to authentic connection. Only then can we build a real bridge, a bridge of genuine communion, understanding, and love with ourselves and others.
That brings us to the path of transformation. Surrender, service, and forgiveness. Our sources tell us that faith and transformation itself gives us peace. Biblical scriptures even urge us to learn to wait, because waiting renews our strength.
This isn't passive waiting, though, is it?
Not at all. In Buddhist terms, this practice of surrender, of letting go, it's an active choice.
It allows us to release the need for control, to step out of the constant struggle and enter a space of compassion for ourselves and for others. It's an embrace of patience, allowing solutions and insights to emerge rather than trying to force them.
And that compassion, in turn, awakens us to the healing power of service.
Yes.
Our sources state unequivocally, love in action is always about service, while individual reflection or therapy are vital.
And they are vital.
Serving others is presented as an equally effective path to healing. It requires us to empty the ego so we can truly recognize and fulfill others' needs. What does emptying the ego look like in this context?
Emptying the ego, as our sources describe it, isn't about self-negation or becoming a doormat.
Right.
It's about shifting focus from our own desires, our own preoccupations, to genuinely seeing and responding to the needs of others. It means setting aside self-importance, fear of judgment, the need for recognition, so that our actions of service become purely about meeting someone else's need, without attachment to the outcome or personal gain. That's where the transformative power really lies.
And to delve deeper into compassion, we have to embrace forgiveness. Judging others, it turns out, only increases alienation.
It does. It actively prevents forgiveness, leaving us kind of mired in shame.
But practicing forgiveness allows us to let go of that shame, those feelings of unworthiness. Compassion and forgiveness reconnect us. How does that reconnection actually happen?
Well, when you forgive, you're not saying what happened was okay.
Right.
But you are releasing yourself from the burden of resentment, from the ties that bind you to that past hurt. This act of letting go frees up emotional energy that was locked in anger or bitterness. It allows you to see the other person and yourself with more clarity and compassion. And that fosters a renewed sense of connection, whether that's inner peace or maybe even a bridge reestablished with another person.
Sergian puts this beautifully. Even small acts of forgiveness always have significant ramifications at a personal level. These acts contribute to trust, hope, and that crucial understanding of ourselves and others as potentially powerful people who can choose to lovingly create.
That phrase, lovingly create, is really key, isn't it?
It really is.
It implies forgiveness isn't just about stopping negativity, but about actively building something new. Trust, connection, positive experiences starting from a place of love, not reacting from hurt.
Moving on slightly, our sources highlight how clarity of mind and heart leads to delight, to a profound engagement with the sensual world.
Yeah, this is a beautiful part.
James Baldwin captured this when he said, "To be sensual is to respect and rejoice in the force of life itself, and to be present in all that one does, from the effort of loving to the breaking of bread.
Such a great quote, and the poet Adrian Rich gives us a powerful warning alongside that. Sensual vitality is essential to the struggle for life. It's as simple and as threatened as that.
Threatened how?
Well, the truth is, overindulgence, acquiring too much stuff, just incessant busyness, it actually leads to estrangement from our senses. We become numb, disconnected from the very vibrancy of life.
Which is why living simply is a crucial part of healing.
Exactly.
When we let go of the clutter, whether it's mental clutter, desire, or just physical stuff and endless busyness, we recover our capacity to be sensual. It's described as like a resurrection that reveals to us that love is stronger than death. How does simplicity lead to this profound resurrection of the senses?
Well, our sources suggest that simplicity creates space. Mental space, physical space.
Okay.
When our lives aren't crowded with endless consumption or demands, our minds are less distracted. This quiet allows us to truly feel the texture of bread, or hear the nuances in a conversation, or taste the simple flavors of food.
Being present.
Exactly. It's a return to mindful presence, where every experience, no matter how small, can be fully appreciated and savored. That's the resurrection. Realizing the profound richness already present in everyday life, which can feel as powerful as overcoming death itself.
Finally, let's explore the redemptive power of love and how it vanquishes fear. Our sources reiterate this profound truth. Love redeems. Despite all the lovelessness that might surround us, that longing for love persists. There's this mysterious call to love, regardless of our circumstances.
And this yearning gives us hope. Hope is described as a practice of positive thinking, a kind of covenant that renews our faith and spirit.
A covenant, like an agreement.
Yeah, an active agreement with life itself, a commitment to believe in possibility even when it's difficult.
Okay.
On the flip side, cynicism is called the greatest barrier to love. It's rooted in doubt and despair, and it's intensified by fear, which just paralyzes us.
But here's the good news. Faith and hope allow us to let fear go. Our sources lean into the biblical insistence that there is no fear in love. And perfect love casts out fear.
Right. This perfect love is described as an alchemy that can burn away impurities and leave the soul free.
It literally transforms torment, which fear brings, into sustained peace through the practice of loving. It really challenges that societal belief that torment and anguish are somehow our natural conditions, especially in a world plagued by destruction.
That idea that we're meant to suffer perpetually.
Our sources argue that's a false narrative. They suggest that our innate desire to be powerful, to control our circumstances, is often rooted in this underlying fear. It creates an illusion of having triumphed over fear, over our need for love, when in reality it's just a different form of bondage.
Which brings us to this really revolutionary insight. To truly know perfect love, we must surrender the will to power. That's a huge concept.
Yeah.
How do the sources define this will to power? In practical terms, in this context?
Well, in this context, the will to power isn't necessarily about dominating other people. It's more about that internal need to control everything.
To resist vulnerability, to insulate ourselves from potential pain or disappointment. Our sources are clear. We cannot know love if we remain unable to surrender our attachment to this kind of control. If any feeling of vulnerability strikes terror in our hearts, because lovelessness torments when that vulnerability is unleashed, perfect love, paradoxically, asks us to embrace our deepest vulnerability.
Wow. And as our cultural awareness of being seduced away from love intensifies our anguish, paradoxically, so does our yearning.
Exactly. Our sources beautifully conclude that the space of our lack, also the space of possibility. This yearning actually prepares us to receive love as gift, promise, earthly paradise.
What an incredible deep dive, really exploring the profound and often understated power of love to heal, transform, connect us. It really makes you think about its true potential, moving beyond just sentimentality to something deeply practical and, well, revolutionary.
It does. And if that will to power is indeed rooted in fear and keeps us from love, maybe consider this.
Okay.
How might surrendering, that will not be a weakness, but maybe the ultimate act of courage, the act that unlocks true, perfect love and lasting peace. What might you gain by letting go of that need for absolute control and truly embracing vulnerability as a path to connection and profound healing?